Toastmaster. Thank you. So we all know that Toastmaster is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skill throughout the worldwide. More than 280,000 members worldwide, presence in 144 countries, in globally 14,700 clubs. So that's the size of Toastmaster you all know. But I'll just share with you why I am joining Toastmaster and also try to get feedback from some of you Toastmaster or maybe from guests. So first 5 points I'm talking about. One thing, can you co-host? I think we are not in active mode right now. Yeah. So kindly co-host me. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. So why should I join Toastmaster? I'll just give you the 5 reasons for that. One thing, I made really great friends among Toastmaster circle. I think that is very much important. One thing, even I can say, most of my close friends are from Toastmaster circle only. And that's I built up in the last 2 years. Second, surrounding yourself with really successful people. In Toastmaster, those who want to really grow up, skill up in their career, they are mainly only join Toastmaster. So we all know that there are 2 circle of people in the world. One is circle of influence and another is circle of concern. So you always prefer to join circle of influence group, and that's we are. So that's why surrounding yourself, we are having a very, very good friend circle among us. And that's why we try to better yourself day by day. So that's our actually motive as a Toastmasters. Third is important, self-improvement. Toastmaster is just like a sea. You can develop whatever you want. On your public speaking, starting from your leadership skill, any role, time management, you can take a role of time management, you can do miracle and try to implement that, a better version of yourself, whatever role you are taking day by day. And definitely, you can self-improve a lot on day-to-day basis. That you can also observe that. Fourth, I think feedback. Normally what happens in human tendency, we try to avoid, if someone's giving feedback. But here actually, people are always give you positive feedback for betterment of yourself. So that's the role of evaluator and general evaluator. And last, which is important for me, I think self-confidence. You can build a self-confidence. You can follow your dream. You can chase your dream, becoming a better version of yourself. I think just these 5 points actually, that's why actually I joined Toastmaster. I just want to know from few of the Toastmaster why they are joined Toastmaster. Any within one sentence. Toastmaster Shruti, why you are joined Toastmaster?
I have joined Toastmasters so that I get a chance to look good in these virtual meetings. Jokes apart, but it definitely helps to clear your thoughts and to articulate them better, more than being a better version and all that jazz around being a better communicator. Toastmaster helps you to rephrase your thoughts and sentences, something which can be understandable by you as well as people with whom you're communicating, and that's the whole sole purpose of communicating with others. So yes, that has helped me. Over to you, Toastmaster Mrinal.
Thank you so much. So I have a question to Hannah. Hannah, why you are joined Toastmaster? And I think you are associate Toastmaster more than decades and decades.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Why I joined Toastmasters? Right in the very beginning, I was invited by a friend. Actually, I didn't want to join them, but then she invited me, and I thoroughly enjoyed the whole process of learning how to communicate, learning how to be a leader, and that is what I thoroughly enjoyed. And I was going to give it up, and then in 2020, the pandemic started, and I could Zoom, and then I've never stopped or looked backwards, because online you meet so many beautiful friends, so many lovely friends from all over the world. And that's why I still stay in Toastmasters. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Now coming to DTM Panna.
Good morning, everyone. Why did I join Toastmasters? Because I love to speak, I love to talk. But most importantly, I felt like I needed to share my thoughts, my voice, my ideas with everyone. And I got this platform to do so. And also, I could, yes, like Shruti said, get a circle of friends and that bonding that is so special among Toastmasters. And we get that bonding wherever we go. Over to you, President.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone want to share? Anyone can speak.
You don't keep asking people, these two Toastmasters. Once they are on stage, they are unstoppable.
Yeah,
Yes.
when I joined Toastmaster, my first aim was to be a good communicator. I am in Bengali is okay, but my English was very poor. Now I am in developing mode. I am
Good.
trying to develop my.
Thank you so much. So now I'm asking DTM Kosik, who is our program quality director. So I have just one question to you. Why you are joined Toastmaster? Am I audible?
Maybe he's still trying to join
Okay.
and fix his headphones.
Okay, sure. I think it's time to, we can catch up in the later part also. So now I want to introduce a very beautiful lady. She's very talented. She's emotional intelligence and behavioral coach, and who helps individuals to achieve higher self-management and social skill. So now I welcome to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ajasvita Malhotra. Toastmaster Ajasvita, now stage is yours. It's your podium now.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mrinal, for those appreciative words. You already made my Sunday. Good morning, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. To begin today's very interesting meeting, I have a very silly question to ask you all. Do you have wings? And I'm looking out for a yes or no from the audience. Anyone?
Yes.
Yes.
For all of those who said yes, I'm already a fan of your imagination. Okay, for the rest of you all, can you think of any magical drink, perhaps in red and blue, that can give you wings? Anyone? Can you think of a drink in red, silver, blue, which can give you wings?
Red Bull.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, does Red Bull really gives you wings? Did you guys know back then in 1987, when Red Bull was launched, the company was looking forward to a cool marketing strategy to connect with their audience, and hence they came up with Red Bull gives you wings, and the rest is history. The company became a cult brand among its customers. When most of the people tried to compare their products with Red Bull, they thought that Red Bull had it easy, despite the fact that it was an impressive product already. The misconception that they cannot build such a great brand in an unappealing business is false. I will rectify this myth for you. But before that, let me introduce you to the common structure of any Toastmasters meeting. A Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first part being the prepared speeches section, wherein the members prepare their speeches in advance, get it mentored, and deliver it on the stage. The second part is the exciting table topics part, which is also an impromptu speech section. In this section, the guests and the Toastmasters both are encouraged to walk up to the stage and speak on the table topic chosen by the table topic master for a roughly of about 2 minutes. The third, last, and the most important part is the evaluation section, wherein the general evaluator of the meeting gives his report card about what went good and not so good in the entire meeting. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the general evaluator for our meeting today. He is the Program Quality Director of District 124. He is none other than Distinguished Toastmaster Kaushik Bhattacharya. Over to you, Kaushik.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Today, my role is that of a general evaluator. As a general evaluator, my job today would be to ensure that I provide feedback for what are the things that are going great in the session and what are the things that we probably need to pay a little more attention so that we grow and find the better version of ourselves. During the course of the session, I will be evaluating the speakers on their structure, their content, and their delivery. And at the same time, there will be evaluations based on, and I will be providing my recommendations, and I will be back at the end of the session to present my evaluation report. However, there are other parameters too, and there will be evaluators who will be taking care of those. I will not be introducing them at this moment, and the Toastmaster of the Day will introduce them. But I have a team of evaluators who will be working together to ensure that things run smoothly and we have the required or desired feedback that we need. I would like to request our grammarian for the day, playing one of those key roles, Toastmaster Shurmishta, to please grace the stage and share about her roles.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, General Evaluator DTM Kaushik, for giving me this opportunity. My role today is that of a grammarian. I'm like a person who will be taking note of the good usage of the grammar and not so good usage of grammar. I will be listening to all the speeches and evaluation and taking note of the good phrases, beautiful uses of grammar, and somewhere where the grammar could have been better. I will take a note of all these usages and present my report at the end of the meeting or whenever General Evaluator calls me upon the stage. With that, I hand it back over to the General Evaluator, DTM Kaushik.
Thank you so much, Madam Marian, Toastmaster Shurmishta. We also have with us today Toastmaster Mobani Das, who would be playing the role of timer. I would request Toastmaster Mobani to please share the details about her report.
Good morning again to all my dear friends and fellow Toastmasters. I am the watchman and it's my watch. I will keep the note of timings of every speakers and evaluators. I will show 3 color cue cards. When the speech of the speaker or evaluator reach minimum time, I will show green card. Target time, I will show yellow card. And finish time, I will show the red card. In today's meeting, all the prepared speech are contained and its duration is 5 to 7 minutes. After 5 minutes, I will show the green card. After 6 minutes, I will show the yellow card. After 7 minutes, I will show the red card. And here in both upper side and lower side, 30 seconds is grace period. And for the evaluation section, the duration is 2 to 3 minutes. After 2 minutes, I will show the green card. After 2 minutes 30 seconds, I will show the yellow card. And after 3 minutes, I will show the red card. And here also 30 seconds in both upper side and lower side grace period. Okay, I will share my timer cards. Now give me some time. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Madam Time.
Okay, then I stop. Back to you, Sir General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam Timer. Me, along with my team, will be back at the end of the session to present our evaluation reports, and we will also have a team of speech evaluators to evaluate the wonderful speeches that will be presented in today's session. Thank you so much. Looking forward, and best wishes to all the speakers and the role players in this wonderful Sunday morning. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, General.
Just 1 second. I missed to share the word of the day. Sorry for that. The word of the day is an easy one, the zenith. It is a noun, which means at the time at which something is most powerful or successful. Today, since we are discussing about the wings, I'm sure everyone will be flying to the zenith. I will encourage all the speakers and evaluators to make most use of this word of the day. I will be taking note of the usage and will be presenting it in my report as well. Thank you, and over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Madam Grammarian, and thank you, General Evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the prepared speeches section. And I can totally relate it to my first speech when I joined the Toastmasters. I was at the zenith of my excitement before I came forward to give my icebreaker. On behalf of the speakers, I feel that they might also be at the zenith of their excitement before giving any level of their speeches. So before we go into more delayed of this, before further ado, I would now like to invite the evaluator for our first prepared speech, distinguished Toastmaster Hannah.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. It gives me pleasure. Thank you for the invitation, Miral. What a surprise. What a surprise. Thank you. Shashmita's project is Innovative Planning, Level 3, Project 1. And the purpose of the speech is just one sentence. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a proposal. Over to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Hannah. Our first speaker of the day is Toastmaster Sushmita with her speech title, Be Aware. Be Aware, Toastmaster Sushmita. Sushmita, you're on mute.
Sorry. Also, smoking is injurious to health. It causes cancer. Whenever our near or dear ones smoke, we keep reminding them it causes cancer. Also, there are lots of campaign goes on to create awareness on cancer. Though cancer is fatal, still it can be cured if diagnosed early. We all know the survival stories of Yuvraj Singh, Manisha Koirala, or Sonali Bendre. There is a disease which is cancerous than cancer. That is a silent killer. Why I am telling this? Because once you have it, you cannot cure it. Good morning, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. Before I introduce what the disease I am talking about today, can anyone guess if the disease is not cancer, what it is? Do you need clue? Nowadays, in every family, you will find a person with that disease, and the disease is diabetes. Agree with me or not, I will share you some statistics. Diabetes is the seventh highest leading cause of death and number one leading cause of kidney failure or blindness. According to Indian Council of Medical Research, India is the second highest population of diabetic patients. Every 6% with diabetes is from India. Unbelievable, no? There are many campaigns happen, as I was telling in the beginning, there are many campaigns you will see for cancer, even from the theater, movie theater, to our drawing room, as we watch in the TV, to our Facebook walls. But ever you seen any campaigns for diabetes? And to surprise you, only 2 servings of sugar sweetened drinks per day, you are more prone to get diabetes by 26%. Not according to me, it's according to American Diabetic Association. Also, there is a rise of 150% of diabetic patients in last 2 decades only. And as we all know, prevention is better than cure. And with few lifestyle changes, we can push the silent killer away from us. So I have few proposals for you. Number 1, keep moving. We all know the benefits of exercise, but in today's world, with too much of time constraint, I will share you few tricks how to be active and keep moving. Nowadays, whenever we go out, we always go by car, or even going to market, we use bike. Please stop using that. Try to walk or use bicycle as much as possible. Another trick is people like me who work in front of laptop, we always keep sitting and keep idle. So what works for us? Whenever you get a call from your friend or family, keep scrolling. In my case, my morning client call starts from morning 8 a.m. I don't have time to go for a morning walk. So what I do? I just have to say, pick 5 minutes in that call. Rest all 30 to 40 minutes, I have to listen. So what I do? I join my morning call from mobile. And I keep walking on my terrace. Next trick. Keep spending more time with kids if you have anyone at your home. And kids are so energetic, they will make sure you are not sitting idle. Now, my next proposal, plan your food. We all love to eat foods. We know we have to eat healthy food and avoid junk food. But sometimes it's become really difficult. So what you can follow? You can plan your tomorrow's food and make the things available accordingly. Take an example. I always feel hungry between breakfast and lunch. So what I do? I will keep fruits like apple, guava handy. And also, you can find your own cravings. I am literally get too much of sweet cravings. You can call me a sweet tooth. So what I do? You will always find a box of dates and figs available at my home. So plan your cravings and find some alternative way. Last but not the least, be aware. That is most required. So find out if you have anyone, if in your family history you have diabetic patient. So be prepared for that. Consult to your doctor. Keep an eye on your glucose level. In most of the cases, it has found that whenever a person is diagnosed with diabetes, it was on the higher side of the sugar level. So keep an eye on that. So ladies and gentlemen, please, if possible, try to follow these proposals and be aware on the disease diabetics, and please make others also aware, your near and dear ones. I hope we'll be able to prevent this disease for some of the time. Eat well, move well, and be aware. Let's begin charity at home. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sushmita, for that amazing speech, making us aware of all the small steps that we can take to keep ourselves healthy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our second prepared speech for the day. I would now like to request distinguished Toastmaster Pana. I'm so sorry for the pronunciation. Distinguished Toastmaster Pana.
Good evening, everyone. I consider this project that my speaker is about to deliver to be one of the most enriching projects in our journey in Toastmasters. If my speaker fulfills all the criteria, she will be able to reach her zenith. And I'll tell you why. Because the purpose of this project is for the speaker to deliver a speech on any topic and receive feedback and apply the feedback to the second speech. Today, my speaker is going to deliver the first speech. This is the best way to improve ourselves, right? The speech may be humorous, informational, or any other style the speaker chooses. My speaker is following the leadership development path, and she has 5 to 7 minutes to deliver her speech. Looking forward to hearing an awesome speech. I wish my speaker the very best, and I'll come back to give my evaluation report when the general evaluator asks me to do so. Over to you, Toastmaster B.
Thank you so much. It's now time for the introduction of the speaker herself, Toastmaster Soumita, with her speech title, Hello. Hello, Toastmaster Soumita.
Madam Toastmaster of the Day, before I begin speaking, just confirming once whether I am clearly audible and visible.
Yes, you are.
Thank you, and the timer can now start the timing.
Start. Start.
Hello. Hey Rohit, how are you? What's up? Hey Shamita, I am fine. What about you? I am so. And that precious phone call has enriched my mind and changed my life forever. Hello, Toastmasters and dear guest. Instead of messaging and chatting, how many of you yet believe in the beauty of telephonic conversation? Please raise your hands. That's great. I can see a couple of hands who still believe in the beauty of telephonic conversation. Generally speaking, telephonic conversation is a rarity these days. And it happens only when your constant companion, the one who calls you daily to tell you that you need a home loan, yes, the finance companies, or you call your boss to say that you need a sick leave because you have corona at home. I'm talking of the beer, not the virus. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment and think where we have come to this modern era of internet where Facebook, Messenger, Snapchat, everything has replaced the beauty of telephonic conversation, and the human connection is now with Siri or Alexa or your Facebook girlfriend Lucy, who can even be a man. And I was touched with the beauty of telephonic conversation when I picked up that receiver on that fateful evening. Let me delve deep into the Rohit conversation and tell you the untold story. Hey Shomita, why are you sounding so low? Rohit, I am in a quicksand situation. How many of you know what is quicksand? If you get stuck in quicksand, you keep on sinking, no matter how hard you try to get out, keep on sinking. That's what happens in life. We get stuck in quicksand and we keep on sinking, and it's only when someone lends us their hand and pulls us out can we save ourselves from sinking in life's quicksand. Hey Shamita, tell me clearly what happened to you. And that moment, ladies and gentlemen, I just couldn't keep it together anymore. I started crying like a baby for his mother, and he was there on the other side of the phone, waiting for me to vent out and kept on pacifying me by saying that he was there for me. Within those snips, I was able to tell him about my state of feeling miserable, how I was feeling low, down, and how I was feeling for getting everyone down. Shomita, please hear me out. I am there with you. This is not the thing that you are facing alone. Even I have faced this situation. Have courage. This is just a phase of life and move on. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you for always listening to me and being there for me. Dear friends, the Rohit incident was not only the life changer event for me. There was another occasion when I was touched with a telephonic conversation. More than a decade back, I stepped to the city of joy, happy and excited with my new job. And the icing of the cake was I was blessed with a weird boss. You hear it right. Very sooner, I was losing interest in my job. Every day went drab when boss was around, and the happiness of new job, new career was evaporating into a sublime air. One fine evening, my dad called up. Hello, daughter. How are you doing? How is your new job going on? I am well, dad. Just that the job feels heavy now. What happened, my child? Are you okay health-wise? Yes, dad. Just that my boss dislikes me. Listen, child. Listen very carefully. Do you like yourself? If you like yourself, nobody can make you feel bad and vice versa. That day, Dad shared me his life experiences and how he dealt with countless individuals and evolved as a successful and satisfied professional in his life. I was motivated by his insightful life stories, and it felt like a fresh gush of air had swept over me, and I was rejuvenated and reborn. Thank you, Dad. I'll make sure that I will not let myself down. Dear ladies and gentlemen, both Rohit and Dad didn't give me any long sermons. They weren't able to amplify my exam results or to replace my boss, but they gave me the confidence to explore no matter the consequence. And I am the result of those two vital communications. What I stand today is due to those communications. A recent research conducted by Economic Times and leading telephone giant has revealed that people of India enjoy messaging more over any form of communication. In 2022, there was 14% rise in telephone industry. The revenue has risen, and out of that, 44% has increased again in the data sector, and out of which the voice call is of a very low percentage. The journey of life is not a solo endeavor. The invisible threads of human connection are the strongest ties in our life. So please do not let go of the human connection no matter what. You may never know when a Shomita may need your call to help her get back her life, and maybe your phone call can lend her a hand and pull out of her life again. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Oh my God, that was such a powerful speech, Shomita. Really. Before we go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, I would want you to go back to the time when I started the meeting. Remember, I told you that I would break your myths about some of the brands in an unappalling business. Did you know that in the list of 10 uncool games, Scrabble is right there on the top, on number 1. And yet, Scrabble came up with an insanely cool marketing plan. Few areas in Paris had very bad network connection. They had zero Wi-Fi. So Scrabble decided to give away free Wi-Fi minutes, but with one challenge. You had to download the Scrabble application and form 7-lettered word from random alphabets appearing on your screen to unlock the password. Higher the score of your word, higher the free minutes you win. What more, if you share the same, your win, on Facebook, Scrabble would double your minutes. The result, just within 2 weeks, Scrabble had more than 6,000 words created and free publicity via Facebook posts. All I want to say, if a game as uncool as Scrabble can get away with so much popularity, what do you think is within you? If Scrabble could find your wings to fly, I'm sure you are no exception. With that thought fresh in your mind, it is now time for our third prepared speech. And for that, I would request our third evaluator, Toastmaster Mrinal, to please take up the stage.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajwasti. So today, speaker Boyhabi delivering speech from Visionary Communications Pathways, Level 2, Project 3. The purpose of this project is the member to learn about different communication style and identity her primary style. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Ajwasti. And all the best for the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mrinal. Our third speaker for the day, Toastmaster Vaibhavi, with her speech title, I Assess Before I Assert. I assess before I assert, Toastmaster Vaibhavi.
Don't wear that shirt again today, for God's sake, my mother shouts when my father wears that shirt. You know, the classic attitude, you are wrong and I am right. My father, on the other hand, is a slave of passive communication style. He quietly goes into the room, gets changed without even asking, what's so wrong about this shirt? Dear Toastmasters and guests, for the most of my life, I felt that these are the 4 interesting communication styles taught by Mr. Google Guru: aggressive, passive, passive-aggressive, and assertive. I really had no clue what is a secret formula to reach this most desired form of communication, that is assertive. As I delved deeper into this communication module, Toastmasters introduced me to 4 new communication styles. Let's see. A few months back, I went to my therapist and said, Ma'am, I'm anxious. I'm not able to sleep properly in the night. I can't focus on my studies. To top it up, I've lost my appetite. I don't even feel like eating my favorite chocolates of late. She listened to me and said, okay, tell me more. I said, Ma'am, my life is pathetic. So much of confusion in the head. I want to get off it. She said, see, you're not anxious. You're only overthinking. She posed in front of me different situation-based hypothetical questions so that the right juices start to run in my brain. She said, you're trapped to that. You're fallen for the trap, either career or nothing. In real world, we have an interleaving layer of relationships that absorbs these unwanted shocks. She used logic to solve a complex problem. She didn't mince her words. Classic example of analytical style communication. As we grow up, life introduces us to new experiences. When I roll back in time, I remember that dark day in my life. I failed in mathematics. After an eternity of scolding from my mother, I was sitting in the corner crying and worrying what to do next. Then appears Krishna. Krishna is my childhood neighbor who was just an year older than me. He knew every little nuance going on in my life back in high school episodes. He came to me and said, Vaibhavi, I know you're devastated. You're shattered deep within. I'll not tell you to smile or disown your feelings. Rather, cry your loudest. Because this is the last day when you'll say that mathematics is not my forte. Henceforth, mathematics and you will be best. How can I forget that? He didn't tell me the secret formula to be the topper, what is the best tuition class to join so that I become really good in mathematics. Rather, it's just being there as a supportive style of communication. I always remember Krishna. Again, moving forward, how can I remember this another milestone episode in my life? My boyfriend called me and said, hey, Vaibhavi, it's your birthday coming soon. What will I wear? Like a romantic and classic girlfriend, I said, hey, you look handsome in every attire. Go ahead and wear whatever you want. You don't have to ask me this question. He, in a sarcastic tone, replied, so Sherwani kurta will be okay then. I, without blinking my eyelid, said, woohoo, Sherwani kurta, perfect. I've not seen you wearing ethnic of late. Wait, I also wear a sari. I look exactly like your wife. You Sherwani kurta, I sari, perfect couple you see. My boyfriend was tired. He said, Vaibhavi, hold your horses. I was just joking. It's not a wedding reception. It's only your birthday, where only you and I will be there. So I suggest you go and wear your kurti and leggings, and I'll wear my regular polo t-shirt. Bye. See, I didn't give him any suggestions, but I marveled how I helped him arrive at his own solution all by himself. I was persuasive yet innovative style of communication. Next time, when the same boyfriend calls me and asks, hey, it's your birthday, what will I wear? I'll give him 7-minute speech without any crutch words. I'll tell him, wear a white color collared polo t-shirt that has half sleeves. Wear it with black color jeans pant in regular fit in seamless fitting. Wear a 36-inch belt of black color. Wear sneaker shoes with polka dot socks. Have that brown colored wallet that has 2 compartments. And also, don't forget to wear your watch, that leather watch my father gifted you the last month. You can buy my favorite box of chocolate, Ferraro Rocher, as my birthday gift. See you soon in my favorite coffee shop, Cafe Coffee Day. See, the poor guy. I didn't give him any room for negotiation. I was clear, crisp, and strong-willed. This indeed is my dominant trait of communication, that is direct. Although I want to have the blend of every other communication styles properly blended to break the barriers set by Google Guru. I'm so sure that all of you, dear Toastmasters and wonderful people here, will help me achieve that. Mr. Toastmaster, please agree with me saying that it is true that all of you will help. Oh no, I did it again. Maybe next time. That's my time. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. It was such an amazing, humorous presentation. Toastmaster Webby. It is now time for our 4th speaker for the day. But before that, let me call upon the 4th evaluator, Toastmaster Anushwa. Toastmaster Anushwa?
Hello, am I audible, Toastmistress of the day?
Yes, you are.
I'm sorry, I was having some problem unmuting myself.
No worries.
A very good morning, everyone present over here, dear Toastmasters, future Toastmasters. Today, the speaker is going to deliver her level 1 project 2 speech from the pathway. Just give me a second, please. From the pathway innovative planning. Her speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes. It has been mentored by distinguished Toastmaster Archita Tiwari. The purpose of this speech is for the speaker to practice applying feedback and serve a speech to the club, and to demonstrate their ability to deliver an effective, respectful speech and evaluate. Timer, as I have already said, it is the speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
Our 4th speaker for the day is Toastmaster Pooja with her speech title, Happiest Journey with My Great Grandfather-in-Law. Happiest journey with my great grandfather-in-law, Toastmaster Pooja.
Want to check my audio video? Is it visible?
It's visible, but your audio is not correct.
You may have to mute one of your devices. Okay. Is it okay? Fine.
Yes.
Can I start?
Yes.
A diligent person, an amazing friend, an awesome teacher, and a good guider was my great grandfather. Just a minute. Well, he was my inspiration, and I hope present here everyone has someone or the other inspirations. I used to learn many things from my inspired person. Very good morning to my dear Toastmaster and dear guests. Today I want to share my feelings and thoughts on my story of my great grandfather. After marriage, Whenever I used to go to my mother's house, my grandfather used to tell, Pooja, when you are going to your mother's house, I will put you a dori on your hand. And he used to put it on my hands and say, Pooja, Pooja, when you will come from your house, mother's house, you are going to see how much fat you become, how much mother gave you to eat, whatever she is giving you, malai, laddu, and whatever things. So he used to tell that all the things when I go to my mother's house, he misses me a lot and says, when she goes, it sounds like nothing is there here in the house. When my mother-in-law used to make laddus, he used laddus like this, and he say, okay, I'll sit and guide you and make laddu with you. And he used to tell us that how much quantity we are making, what is the price, calculate the price of the thing which we are making it, and compare it with the market price. When he used to come from the office and says, come Pooja, let's sit and make the accounts. And he used to sit and long time we sit and make the accounts on the laptop. Then my husband used to go for a trip, long trips. He used to go for 1 month to 1.5 months, so long. I used to get aside and cry. I used to cry a lot. And one day he comes and says, Pooja, don't cry. I'll think me as your best friend and share with me all your thoughts. I used to say, okay, grandfather. Grandfather used to tell, don't worry, I'm there with you. Utilize your time and read the storybooks. Look at the share markets in the TV. He used to teach me many things like Siddhi Slots and many chants. I used to get very happy and see, look, Pooja, now you're happy and spend your time as much as you can. Do our house things. I used to tell, okay, great grandfather, I will utilize my things and I do lots of things. When I became pregnant, he gave me a book, a religious book, a Bhagavad Gita, and told me, read this book, Pooja. And when I will come from the office, he used to tell me the gist of it. And when he comes from the office, he used to discuss with me all the top things which I have read in the morning or day. I was so happy to see that he is so friendly and he used to guide me. He used to share many things of his life history which he spent throughout the year. And he's some part of his life which I also want to share. He was a kid and he was in the Bikaner. He studied over there for some times and he used to live alone and all his family has shifted to Kolkata. And sometimes after that, he also shifted to Kolkata and started studying. But he was little helpless. He was little weak in some of his parts. But his teacher told him, I will guide you, my son. I will help you. You are a very hardworking person. I will make a note for you. And you study very nicely. And he helped him a lot in his further studies. After his marriage, he used to study and in certain period he got stuck. And my great grandmother-in-law told him, Pooja, don't worry. I will, Pooja, he used to told him that I will help him. You go and study. He separately they leave and they studied and he completed his LLB. When my son was crying, he used to take him with him and make him sit in the cot and he used to swing him. The best thing he made a bed sheet swing and sit my son over there and play with him in the swing. And I was so happy that he helped him when playing and all. When I used to go for a bath, he used to set him beside and make him play with it. And I will be doing my work and my other things. So on a day, I used to think that he was a good friend of mine. He was an intelligent person. He played a paramount role in my life. I used to miss him a lot. And somewhere I got confused. I think he would be here and would have guided me. And in all my works, I used to miss him a lot. And I think if he would be here, he would have guided me a lot. What do you all think, guys? Hope you also have one inspiring person he would help in your life. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pooja. Your speech made me remember my grandparents as well, because even I was very, very close to them and I miss them equally. It is now time for our fifth speaker of the day. Before that, I would like to invite the fifth evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Shruti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jasmita. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance her speech. Timer, please note the timing would be 5 to 7 minutes. And apart from this, the speech can be humorous, informational, or any style that the member chooses. All the best to the speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Jasmita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti. Our fifth speaker of the day is Toastmaster Kamal with his speech titled, What is in the Name? What is in the name, Toastmaster Kamal? Over to you.
So before start, let me do a video and audio check. Am I clear, clearly audible and visible?
Can you be a bit louder? I cannot hear it properly.
Okay, it's better now? Is there an echo or something? Hello?
Yeah. Can you move closer to the...
Okay.
That should work. Perfect. Thank you.
It's okay, right? Okay. How many of you have ever thought that your name is not that good? Or felt that wish I could change my name? Is anyone here? Well, only one name. The rest of the people are lucky then to have a good name, unlike me and the one who has raised the hand. A warm greetings to everyone present in this meeting. My name is Kamal Muni and I don't like my name. I can remember I was in class 5 or 6. I had just watched a movie of the famous actor Shah Rukh Khan, which had a very famous dialogue. Hey, I'm Rahul, naam to suna hi hoga. I like that dialogue very much. And I tried if I could replicate it. So the next day in my school group, I tried doing so. I tried that I'll raise my collar after that and be someone like a hero. But to my dismay, my friends looked at me from top to bottom and said, but you are copying Shah Rukh Khan. You know your name sounds so old. Your name doesn't go with this dialogue. I was very disappointed. Like every other kid, I went to my mom with so much complaint. Mom, why did you change my name? You know I have a very old name. My friends are mocking me for this. I want to change my name. Please do something. My mom listened to all this and then tried convincing me. You know, you don't have a bad name. Look at your friends. Untu, Bablu, Juntu. Don't you think your name is better than them? Whatever your name was given to you by your grandmother, carries her blessings for you. I was fairly convinced by my mother. But little did I know, this was not the end of my name pain. It was just the tip of the iceberg. Fast forward to few years later, I was in class 11, new class, new batchmates, new teachers. One day in the class, the teacher was calling us randomly by name and wanted to show our assignments. At one point, he was calling, who is Kamal? Please bring your assignment. I was responding, Actually, no one was there in the class. His name is Kamal. He did it for, he called it for a few more times and then called by the roll number. And then I realized he was calling me actually. I stood up and walked up to him with my assignments and I was welcomed with a slap. I was calling you for so many times and you are not coming up. You are gossiping with your friends. Even before I could explain that, I didn't realize he was calling me. I was asked to go outside of the class. I went outside of the class. I was standing there and thinking, what was that? I realized that my name pen has not left me. From that day onward till today, I have seen evolution of my names. I was not fond of statistics and permutation and combination as particular until I realized that people are actually applying their permutation and combination knowledge on my names. They are taking K, M, and L and putting anything in between and calling me. Kamal, Komal, Camel, Kamil, Column, and whatnot. I feel it is like a easy recipe. Just put K, M, L and put anything in between and just like a 2-minute noodle, it's ready. Now I was unhappy with one name. And today I've got so many names. So those are very weird. Now, if I go anywhere and sound something in which there are sounds like K and M and L, I'm sure that someone is calling me only. There was an incident. I was roaming around a mall with my friends. I heard the name Komal. And as my basic instinct, I thought some girl is calling me. I looked back with a happy face and there was a girl actually named Komal. So these type of things are very much common to me. Now, today as I have so many names, you must be thinking if I am happy with my names or not. Don't ask me because the famous author William Shakespeare once said, "What's in a name?" Hey, Kamli! Did you just hear something Kamli or something? I'm sure someone must be calling me only. Kamli, I think it's me only. Okay, I have to check and go and check. Till then, over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
What a fantastic speech, Toastmaster Kamal, or Toastmaster Kamal, or Toastmaster Kamli. Whatever it is, whatever suits you, what's in the name after all. I'm sure that all of us must be liking television because as a product, television has new features every year. What about an AC? It's a cool product, right? Well, yes, because it's an AC. But just think about a blender. Just simple sharp blades rotating around. Not a cool product, right? Wrong. Blendtec is an American company which makes blenders. And they are so popular. You know why? Not because of the product, but for the YouTube videos under the name Will It Blend? There are thousands of people who just Google for Blendtec under the name Will It Blend? The blender takes a charge of blending anything, starting from a coconut shell to a tennis ball. And it has covered so many million subscribers and views that I don't need to talk about. All I want to say that if a simple mundane product, which is actually used to give us bottle guard juices, can be so popular, what is it with us? With that note, again fresh on your mind, it is now time for our sixth and the last speaker of the day. I would now like to request the sixth evaluator for the day, Distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya Roy, to please take up the stage.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and a very good morning to everyone present here. My target speaker today is delivering a project from our pathway, and the purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. I would request the timer to please know that the time limit is from 5 to 7 minutes, and all the best to the speaker. Thank you and over to you.
On mute. You're on mute.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya. Our sixth speaker is Toastmaster Sweetie with her speech title, Life is Difficult. Life is Difficult, Toastmaster Sweetie. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good morning to all my fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I agree with Bruce Lee, who says, don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Everybody wants to be happy in life. We all want to live a perfect life. We want that great job or a successful business. We want to be married to Mr. Perfect or to Mrs. Perfect. We want to have those great kids. We want to have friends that stick by us, come rain or shine. We want to be able to have all their material things life has to offer us, have all our problems just disappear like the Aladdin ka Jadoo Chirag. Everybody wishes for a good life. It may be at different levels. One person on my right may define a good life one way, and the other on my left may describe it another way. And for a person, for one person, a good life will be just having 3 meals a day and a roof over their head. Someone like me. For another, it may be having a huge mansion, maybe like Bunny's home, and a couple of $1 million in the bank. That is a normal human being expectation. Nobody likes to struggle through life. Does anyone here who wish to have a trouble in life? Anyone? No, right? It can all seem too overwhelming. And for many, it all doesn't seem be worth of it. It's like being drained of energy just at the thought of running a marathon. Before we even start the thought, in our mind just scares us and tires us so much mentally, we just decide not to go for it and feel it's just too hard. Unfortunately, the thought of all that work, all that planning, overcoming hurdles and resistance is enough to make a lot of people give up even before they start. One of my favorite books is titled The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. When I opened the book to read, the first thing I read was, life is difficult. And a thought popped up in my mind. Is this book really going to get assuring and encouraging after such a start? But as Peck goes on to explain further, he says, once we know that life is difficult, once we truly understand and accept it, then life is no longer difficult. And trust me, I too felt it when I moved to complete it. In life, we will have difficulties getting whatever we want. It is rare to get anything in life without some degree of effort. Most of us think if we win the lottery, we will have everything without any effort. Even then, we have not had to go out and buy the lottery ticket. Anyway, that also is not for free. Life is hard. I too have felt many times. I would like to share one incident. It was difficult while working with one of my boss. I felt he was not the nicest person in the world because I had challenges initially with him that I did not foresee. We were caroling in the team about it, about his behavior and the things he used to do to us. Because I also always used to feel he doesn't give recognition to the people or the teammates that they actually deserve for. Has anyone here gone through such an incident? Would like to share? Anyone here? Or a similar part? All right, let me continue. Maybe I will get into your one-on-one so that we could take it. One day, a miracle happened and he was super animating. It was like all my Christmas had come back. I can fly with my wings. I would say I was a zenith, as he did it once to the entire team by admitting it. I worked with him for 4 years because I with and accepted him without any expectation, from him, whether it was good or bad. I would say faith is why I am here today. And faith is why I made it through. I could go on and on with examples, but the bottom line is that life is hard. I'm not saying that we are not justified in feeling the way that we feel. I know we have that tough at times. I know that at times we feel that it's all very confusing and just too hard. I mean, we have worked very hard. We have done all that we possibly could in our lives, whether it is at work or at home, but things just don't seem to have worked out as we had planned or hoped for. It all just seems to have gone wrong, and we don't know or understand how or why. But that's okay. It's normal. That's what being human is all about. That's what life is all about. Life is hard. Accept it. So, while concluding, I would say once we do, we will feel better about our circumstances. Then we would think of our situation as it's common to every human. Later, we will think of our situation as part of life. We will no longer beat ourselves up about how bad things are or how we are not doing so well in one area or the other. We will realize that we are only humans. We make mistakes just like everybody else. We are not perfect just like everybody else. So my humble request all here, don't stop. Accepting that life is hard does not mean that you accept every circumstance. Simply go with the flow, like the river. Accept the way it is happily and try to enjoy every moment, whether happy or sad, because the hard days are what make you stronger. Over to you, TMO.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sweetie. Your speech helped me rekindle the enthusiasm for my own profession. It is now time for the evaluation section. And for that, I would like to re-invite our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Kaushik Bhattacharya, to the stage, please. DTM Kaushik.
Yeah, I was having some problem unmuting. Sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful session today on the different plethora of speeches that we had, where we heard a lot of stories. But before I present my evaluation report, let me call on stage the different evaluators or the respective evaluators who were there to present their evaluation. I would request first Toastmaster Hannah, distinguished Toastmaster Hannah Smith, to please come to the stage virtual platform and share her report.
Certainly, Mr. General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters, and especially Sushmita, you are indeed in good hands with your mentor, Somnath, who has given you wings, and you will reach the zenith of your Toastmaster. Can you hear me now? Shall I start again? Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Sumita, you are indeed in good hands with your mentor, Somnath, who has given you wings, and you will reach the zenith of your Toastmasters career. You had a clear opening with your remark about the smoking and diabetes as killers, which immediately caught my attention because I was smoking also. Two things we tend to ignore. Thanks for drawing my attention to this. Your hand gestures evoked responses with me, and I'm sure with the audience as well, because you can't see the audience. Most of them are behind their videos. And they complimented the importance of your message, the dangers of smoking and diabetes. Your message had some pauses, but a few more could have even made a bigger impact on me as they built tension and add impact to your message. Although we are not on a physical platform, you use the virtual stage very effectively with your body movements. You didn't just stand still, you moved a bit. At the beginning of your speech, you also warned us against smoking, but the speech concentrated on the dangers of the silent killer diabetes. However, I would have liked to hear more about the dangers of smoking as well, a habit most of us ignore. One recommendation, just a moment. One recommendation I have for you, try and use a plain background like we all did. That was a bit fading. Use a plain background. And your speech ended with a call to action. Keep moving. Be active with your kids if you've got some. Plan your food. Eat dates and figs, which I don't do. Thank you very much for a very interesting and amazing speech, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Hannah, for sharing such a wonderful evaluation report. I would now request, since we have 5 evaluators today, I would share my evaluation for the evaluator along with the report for the interest of the evaluator's time. Distinguished Toastmaster Hannah, I really like the way you set the context at the beginning of the session about the different objectives on which you are going to evaluate the speaker, or the objectives the speaker is trying to attempt. Towards the end of the session, when you presented your evaluation report, it was specific. It was having points wherein you try to motivate the speaker about the things that are going well in her speech. The commendations part came in. The recommendations were eased into. There was a gradual transition, and there was a couple of recommendations which were shared, which I am sure the speaker will benefit from. One recommendation for the recommendations I can suggest is that maybe when you are sharing about what to do to enhance the speech, how that can be done by the speaker as a practice during the practice session can also be highlighted, so that can benefit not just the speaker but everyone in the room to circumvent such situations in future. Overall, it was a wonderful evaluation. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for coming up with a wonderful report, which I'm sure added value not just to the speaker but to everyone in the room. We now move on to the next speech evaluator, Toastmaster Anushwa Chattopadhyay, and I would request her to present the evaluation report for our speaker number 2.
Actually, good evening, DTM Kaushik. I'm supposed to be the evaluator for speaker number 2, but unfortunately she isn't in the meeting, so I will either wait for her to join.
So we'll go for third, and then I think last we can join that, because I think she's not able to join the meeting because of some technical glitches.
Yeah,
unfortunately, move. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we can have the other evaluators, and then you can. I will invite Toastmaster Panna. So I would request Toastmaster Anushwa Chattopadhyay if she can present her evaluation.
So I'm the third evaluator.
Yeah, I am aware. Okay, you want to go by that sequence? That's fine. Toastmaster Marine, I wanted to mix and match a little bit so that everyone is happy. Okay, so to present the next evaluation report, I would request Toastmaster Mrinal to please present his evaluation.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, we all just stories, and onus on us how good we are. So, good morning, General Evaluator, dear Toastmaster, and especially Toastmaster Vaibhavi. Your speech was inspired me a lot. Mainly 3P I'm talking about for your commendations part: purpose, perfections, and passions for your speech. Throughout that, you maintain your speech. So that I like it. You're talking about, we can collect the story. You're talking about your neighborhood, just your 1 year older Krishna, then your therapy story. Apart from that, your mathematics, your fear with mathematics, and then how you communicate throughout your communication journey, how you implemented that. And you're talking about Google, 4th type of Google: passions, passive, aggressive, and assertive, and how you become assertive in your, how you implemented that. So this all story, I think, touched my heart, and that's why actually I'm talking about you are thoroughly with purpose, perfection, and passion. But as a speaker, becoming a next level, we have some recommendation for you. One, I think is important, your vocal variety. You could work on vocal variety in your journey. Like I'm talking about when you play at 2 different roles, your boyfriend and you. So that time I think you should change your voice modulation. That will create much more impact. Like when your boyfriend told, I was joking. So your pronunciation, enunciation, you should start from straight rather than this person. So then you create a depth on your voice modulation. It will be interesting. Apart from that, second, I'm talking about talking about what you talk about mathematics. What is the best class to join mathematics with some expression? It requires some expression to becoming a more effective speaker. That part you can correct it. And apart from, I just recommended your Zoom presence. Here, actually, sometimes you are playing at 2 roles. So better, I think, you can use your entire direction of your, it's just like a movie hall. So that part you can overall. And topic, I think, summary part was missing. So you should implement that about your journey with your different type of communications and what you gain after apply in your personal or professional life. So if I summarize your entire speech, I love your clarity with 3 P's: purpose, perfection, passion. You maintain the eye contact throughout your entire speech, and I like your comfort level towards the audience interactions. But for the next level, you could improve your vocal variety with when you play some two different role, or maybe some pronunciations or proper depth on your voice that you could implement that. You can improve your Zoom presence throughout, you just input throughout your screen topic, and you could better conclude and what is the purpose for your project, that what you learn from this project, that you could mention that. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mrinal, for sharing the wonderful evaluation. Again, I would complete his evaluation before I move on to the next speech evaluator. Toastmaster Mrinal, again, at the beginning of the session, like the other evaluators, you set the context for the benefit of everyone in this room. Thank you so much for doing that. However, at the end of the session, you were again, right now, you presented your evaluation. I really liked the way you started off the evaluation with distinct, repetitive, repeat syllabic words, which sounded similar, but were different in nature to create the emphasis and also engage with the audience. You listed out points for commendations and most importantly for recommendations, like firstly and number one, number two, like that. And that helped probably the speaker take away and remember about the specifics that happened in the evaluation. One recommendation for you is, once we have covered the recommendations, and we are trying to summarize, we can keep the summary a little short and add no new things at the end, because sometimes as a speaker, I'm already trying to digest the feedback that I've received. So when I'm hearing the summarization, just the points, like the point 1, point 2, point 3 that you suggested as things that are already going great, and then the two recommendations that you gave, only the headers, like if it is body language, that work on a little bit of body language as suggested, work on a little bit of voice modulation, as something like this, and then ending the speech will probably help me as a speaker who is receiving the evaluation or the feedback to have a better understanding and clarity of the situation and the evaluation. Overall, it was a wonderful evaluation. I really liked the way you listed things out on a platter, on a bullet or through bullet points, and ensured the things are clear, easy to understand, and you had an engaging style to connect with the audience. Thank you so much for sharing your evaluation report, Toastmaster Mrinal, and I look forward to hearing from you again. Is our speaker number 2 in the room at this moment? No, right? All right. So I would now request Toastmaster Anushka Chattopadhyay to please present her evaluation report as the evaluator 4, going third. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir General Evaluator, for calling me on the virtual podium. Practice the philosophy of continuous improvement. Get better day in, day out. Dear Toastmasters, and especially to Toastmaster Pooja. Today, I saw you actually changing. The feedback that you had got in your previous speech of having good body gesture, you really stood out at that. You stood up and you delivered your speech. I would like to comment on that. Second, you had good characterization where we could visually represent on your discussion with your grandmother or with your mother. Something to note about. Your hand gesture, you had an earnest effort to explain yourself with use of hand. I would like to commend you on that as well. But again, as it said, that every coin, every story has two ends. Along with the commendation, I would like to give you some recommendation, because as I said in the starting of the speech, that practice the philosophy of continuous improvement. No one is born a best person. You get better with practice. So I would like to recommend you on the below points. One is your voice modulation. When you started, you said that a friend, a philosopher, a guide. If you make it as a friend, a philosopher, a guide, you see that there is a dip in my voice. It gives a better emphasis on what you are saying and people get an idea. Second is pauses. You were moving a bit fast. Try to keep the pace of your speech at a nominal, not as a nominal, at such a tempo that people can hear you out, because you were speaking very well. You had a very emotional topic which can touch everyone, but if people are unable to hear you, it won't be making any difference in them. So I would like to commend you on your recommend you voice modulation and your pauses. Second is your facial expression or your face gesture. When you were speaking, if I give you a demonstration, when I'm speaking like this, you're able to see my face, you're able to see my eyes. But if I'm speaking like this and I'm speaking like this, you won't be able to see my face, you won't be able to see my eyes. That was your situation. Either try to sit, if you're comfortable, either try to sit and give it, because even if you're sitting, you can deliver a good speech. Or if you are standing, try to make it at eye level, like this, so that people can see your eye gestures, because eye gestures are a bigger part of your speech. And third, that I would like to recommend you is your call of action. Your call of action could be better on how, without your grandfather, who was a friend, philosopher, and guide to you, you managed your life well with his philosophy. I would like to conclude by saying that you had good story, good characterization, nice hand gestures. By just taking care of your crutch voice modulation, your camera placement, and better call of action, you can be a better speaker. Thank you so much, Sir General Evaluator. The virtual podium is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anushka, for sharing the evaluation report. Again, you had set the context at the beginning and towards the end. Now, when you presented your evaluation report, I really like the fact that you were very specific when you were sharing the recommendations. You pointed out where exactly the change needs to happen, taking out situations and scenarios from the speaker's speech itself, and that really will help the speaker and everyone else understand really how to take this feedback and evaluation forward. One recommendation for you would be that when you are presenting your evaluation report, maybe think before you start about the points in sequence that you want to present. And when you do that in your mind, rehearse your mind in a way like that. When you're presenting the evaluation, it will be a little more smoother. And then as a speaker who is receiving the feedback, if I receive a smoother evaluation, what happens is I'm connected to you, listen to you attentively, and then I keep hearing things and they keep registering in my mind, and I get the holistic picture a little more vividly and clearly. So if that can be something that we can work on, so that it does not sound a little disjoint. This evaluation will be taken to a very next level, which is up in the sky. Thank you so much for sharing your evaluation, which was specific, which had all the relevant points, which had a powerful recommendations and commendations to ensure that the speaker takes away the goods, as well as the things where the speaker can put in a little more effort to improve the speech altogether. Thank you so much. We move on now to our next evaluator. The next evaluator in this meeting is, I'm going to request Toastmaster Komal Banik to please present his evaluation report.
DTM Soria.
I'm the evaluator. Kamal
Yeah,
was
Toastmaster Shruti, Toastmaster Shruti for Toastmaster Komal Banik.
Yeah. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Kaushik. And what's in a name? That was the speech, and it exactly reverberated in this meeting right now. A very good morning to each and everyone present here, distinguished guests, fellow Toastmasters, and in particular, Toastmaster Kamal Banik. I will not say where do I begin, because I know exactly where to begin. Because exactly what is in a name? A name is something which you defined in various ways, how it affects your personality and how you have imbibed it. The first recommendation or the thing that you can improve in your speech that I would like to tell you is usage of more instances in a logical sequence. For example, when you were talking about your name that you were not very happy with since your childhood, you can bring in instances from your childhood, exactly very specific instances that are very relatable for us. For example, someone how they made fun of your name in class, very specific instances with 2 dialogues only so that it takes less time. The second recommendation that I want to give you is usage of the closure document that you used where someone called you from behind, calling Kamli, and a an opening of such sort will immediately take everyone's attention. Although the closing was good, but placing that particular sequence in the opening will help you grab more attention, will help you understand the context, the audiences of the entire speech. Coming to the things that I really loved and what they made me feel in from your speech. The first thing is that the way you added humor in your speech, wherein you added someone called you Komal in a mall, and you turned back and you thought, oh, it was a girl, and you felt so happy about it. That made me feel that how many of us have been renamed in different ways, spelled in different ways, and that is a constant struggle with certain names. So you made that very, very valuable for us. The second thing that I want to tell you is the usage of voice in your entire speech. When you were talking about slap, somehow you made that voice or you really slapped yourself. The usage of voice when someone called you from behind, the usage of places wherein you elaborated various names with particular voice gesture. Moving forward, one other recommendation that comes to me is that making more usage of voice modulation. For example, when you said Kamli, Komal, Camel, Kamal, you could have said it with more of energy, because it's your name. For God's sake, it's my name. I am Kamal, I am Kamal, I am Camel, whatnot, but I am what I am. So with that energy would definitely infuse your entire speech with much humor, illustration, voice modulation, and of course, stage choreography if you are giving that in our pre-physical podium. So all the best. I would definitely remember your name as Kamal. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Kaushik.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shruti, for presenting such wonderful evaluation report. You again set the context right at the beginning and ensure at the end of the session, that is currently when you were presenting the evaluation, you were specific to the point, crisp and fluent in presenting the evaluations. You presented a holistic picture of the things that went amazing in the speech and the things where the speaker can pay a little more attention. Thank you for bringing that out. For you, one recommendation would be that how part of the recommendations, like how exactly I can, as an evaluate, as a speaker or someone who is generically present in the audience, can work on those recommendations. One tip or suggestion on that, maybe that will add a little more value to the already wonderful evaluation that you are presenting. Thank you so much for presenting the holistic evaluation and ensuring that things are covered as per the pathways objectives, and also the speaker has a lot to take away. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shruti. We move on to the next evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya, to present his evaluation report.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, and a very good morning once again to everyone present here, especially to my target speaker, Toastmaster Shruti. Today, the first thing which I loved about your speech was the introduction which you had when you shared with us a quote by Bruce Lee about how we must never respect a life free of difficulties. That made me sit up and pay more attention to your speech than what I was already doing. And thereafter, you would make a transition to the core message which was being delivered by you about how we must always be open to the different facets of the difficulties which life throws at us. And you actually describe the different types of difficulties which are perceived by different kinds of people. Those for that, I feel that your speech today was a master class at how to deliver more theoretical speeches instead of overly relying on a personal story. And I feel that throughout your speech, the ideas which you had spoke straight from the heart, which made it all the more easier for us to relate to. It was already easier to relate to because your topic was something which is very relatable to life in general, because at the end of the day, all of us like to crib about life's difficulties. And then the fact that you spoke straight from your heart made it all the more easier for us to connect to what you were saying. Kudos for that. And also in the middle of your speech, you did have some more personal stories about how a book has inspired you and about how your relationship between you and your boss has been deteriorating. So, it was a speech which was able to maintain a connect with all of us. But having said that, I felt that you could have done a couple of more things to make sure that your speech purpose was being made more effectively. For example, at one point of time, you were mentioning how a person to your right will define life's difficulties in a different way, and about how a person to your left will define life's difficulties in a different way. So why not move to your left and your right while speaking, reading that? And also, I noticed that you had a bit of space from where you were speaking, a bit of space at the back from where you were speaking. So while you were expanding about the life's difficulties, why not go back and speak about how we must never give up, how we must never go back while facing self difficulties? And then you can actually come forward and share exactly how we must always be brave enough to go forward while facing self difficulties. And in that way, you could have been able to explore the entire dimension of your virtual podium, not just horizontal but also vertical. And that way I feel that the purpose which your speech had about exploring body language, it would have been fulfilled in an even more concrete manner. But otherwise, if I was to summarize, I would say that it was a speech which had a great idea. It was a speech which was able to maintain a steady current with the entirety of the audience, and it was a speech which allowed you to speak straight from the heart. In your future speeches, I would like you to maybe work a little bit more and focus on exploring the entire facet of your virtual podium. And then I am sure that your speeches will have even more gravity than what it had today. All the best for that, and thank you. Over to you, Mrs. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya, for presenting such a power-packed evaluation. You ensure that things are set to right context at the beginning of the session, and at the end, when you were presenting your evaluation, you were specific. You explained how to do things and where to do things as well in the recommendation. I am sure that the speaker and everyone in the room listening to the evaluation greatly benefited from what are the best practices that we can follow to take a speech to the next level. Thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful evaluation. I do not see our speaker 2 in the room, so I would like to ask if Toastmaster Panna, will you be sharing the report now or sharing it to the speaker offline?
I'll share it offline because it's no use giving an evaluation when the speaker is not. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Panna. Rashmi Rai, could we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Panna as well for being present and meticulously taking time out to set the evaluation. I'm sure that the speaker will connect offline and will greatly benefit from her experience. We move on with the auxiliary evaluators who were present in this room today. First, I would request our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Shormishta, to please present her evaluation.
Thank you, Sir General Evaluator DTM Kaushik, for giving me this opportunity to present my report. Today's session was indeed a unique one. It gives the chance to every role player to reach the zenith of their own personal space. And as a grammarian, I too had my chance. I already ran out of space for my paper, so I had to scribble a lot in multiple papers. There were multiple instances where there were good usage of grammar. I had taken a note of few to just emphasize. For instances, the whole soul purpose, in developing mode, fan of your imagination, cool marketing strategy, kite brand. Then there were others, fallen for the trap, interweaving layers, eternity of scolding, disown or your feeling, milestone episode of your life, break the barrier, played a paramount, to my dismay, and there were lots. The list will go on. There were many wonderful usage of words like fabulous, unstoppable, appreciative, misconception, unappealing, endeavor, assertive, hypothetical, devastated, reverberated, imbibed, infused, and again this list will go on and on. This gives us immense chance to enrich our vocabulary and also use them as and when we are speaking on the podium or also off the podium. There are few instances where we could have done better in terms of grammar. For example, it was mentioned that welcome you all in this meeting. Instead, we could have, it was mentioned welcome to you all in this meeting. Instead, we could have said welcome you all in this meeting. Then there was an instance where it was said I am joined. Instead, we could have mentioned that I joined. Kindly co-host me, or we could have said that he is a co-host. Try to better day by day. We could have said try to be better day by day. These are minor instances where, of course, we can be where we can improve by being a bit of conscious, or when we have a more where we are more prone to the listening thing. If we increase our listening ability and we are conscious about what we are speaking, we can definitely make improvement when we are using your grammar. More or less, it was indeed a very, very rich in vocabulary and indeed enriching session with all the speakers and evaluators had made very good usage of grammar. The word of the day, zenith, was used 3 times as per my observation. 1 time by the Timot Ojaswini, 2nd time by DTM Panna, and 3rd time by DTM Khana. And overall, it was indeed my privilege to evaluate or make use my role as a grammarian for such a wonderful session. Thank you, and over to you, Sir General Evaluator, DTM Kaushik.
Thank you so much.
General Evaluator, Somit has already joined now.
Yes, I have observed that. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shormishta, for sharing your wonderful grammarian report. I would request Toastmaster Panna Rashmira if she can present her evaluation report at this point. I think at this moment she is facing some difficulties. We will move on to the next role player and let Toastmaster Panna Rashmira please join. Toastmaster Mrinal, will it be possible to send her a message?
Sure. So I will send a message. I'll connect personally.
Thank you so much for that. I will request our timer for the day, to Toastmaster Moboni, to present her timing report till except of course of Toastmaster Panna Rashmira, who is yet to speak.
First of all, I like to congratulate to all the speakers for their and evaluators for their fabulous job. And now I would like to share my screen with my reports. And my reports is here. Is it visible?
Yes, Toastmaster Moboni.
The speaker, Toastmaster Shushmita, Toastmaster Shaumita, Toastmaster Vaibhavi, Toastmaster Puja, Toastmaster Kamal. These all 5 are within time. They have completed. Only the Toastmaster Sweetie, she took a little more time. and that's why she had not qualified. And in case of evaluator, though it's done only 5 for evaluator, but among them Toastmaster Hana, Toastmaster Shruti, Toastmaster Shaura, they completed their evaluation within time, but Toastmaster Mrinal and Toastmaster Anushwa took little bit time. So these are reports from my side. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mobani, for sharing such a wonderful evaluation report. Yes, Toastmaster Mobani. I connected. I could see on the thing, and she's here. I can see. So I would request Toastmaster Panna Rashmi Rai to please present her evaluation report at this moment.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Shomita, thank you for that very powerful and relevant speech that you shared with us today. How a simple hello can make our lives, can change our lives. Kudos to you on that. Good morning, Toastmaster Shomita. Good afternoon, Toastmaster Shomita, and everyone gathered here. Let me share with you all what I specifically like about Toastmaster Shomita's speech. Straight away, the title, very nice title, short and sweet, very relevant to whatever she spoke throughout. Secondly, her opening, the prop and the dialogue, it really caught my attention, got it going. Very well done. Third, the humor that you had in your speech. Toastmaster Shomita, this is such a difficult thing to do, but you had it throughout. The scam calls, the girlfriend who can also be a man, the Corona beer, fantastically done. Fourth was the research that gave credibility to your speech. Superb. Toastmaster Shomita, I would request you to carry forward all these fantastic aspects of your speech in your Toastmasters journey. Now, I would like to give you a few recommendations which will help you become a better communicator. Firstly, Toastmaster Shomita, you did have a dialogue, but I wish there was voice change, a voice modulation. Your friend Rohit and you sounded the same. I know it is a little difficult with a sweet voice like yours. Just make it a little deep. Rohit, he called me like, Rohit, how are you, Shomita? Make it deep, make it low. So there is a change. Secondly, Toastmaster Shomita, you had a point in your speech which, it sounded a little jarring, because in normal life, a father will not say, hello, daughter, right? He will always say, hello, Mamuni, hello, Mo, Show, whatever. You'll have a pet name. You could have said, my dad called and he said, hello, Mo. That is what my dad calls me affectionately. Just that, no? It makes it more warm. The speech becomes warm instead of having that artificial note, yeah? Now, dad will not say, hello, daughter. Dad will not say, child like that, okay? Please keep that in mind. Make it more genuine. Third, you had such a beautiful message, Toastmaster Shomita. I wish right in the end, you had given a call to action. Come to center stage, own the stage, raise your voice, make it powerful, and speak to the Toastmasters gathered there. Dear Toastmasters, pick up that phone, make that call. A simple hello. Over here, the hello, the top title is brought back into the speech. It is very effective. A simple hello can change someone's life. Wouldn't you like to do that? That would have been such a powerful closing, Toastmaster Shomita. Please remember it in the end. To summarize, if you can do a bit of voice modulation, a little bit of warmth in your speech, give a powerful conclusion. At the same time, carry forward fantastic title, props, dialogues, audience interaction, and the research. I'm sure you will reach the zenith in your Toastmaster journey. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam Evaluator, Toastmaster Panna Rashmi Rai, for sharing such a detailed and specific evaluation. At the beginning of the session, you had set the context about the speech and the expectations. And now when you presented the evaluation report, you were specific. You displayed where to make the effect of the recommendations and how the speaker and everyone in this room in general can practice the art of delivering that. Like, for example, when you were talking about the voice modulation, you showed where the change needs to happen and how it can happen. Thank you very much for sharing that. I am sure that you put in a the way you molded your entire experience into this evaluation. The entire people in the room, not just the speaker, benefited from your performance, and I'm sure that they will have a lot to take away from the evaluation that was just presented. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pandalashmi. Our timer today presented a very specific report, Toastmaster Momoni. I would like to congratulate her for sharing such a very detailed, specific report through screen share. It was clear. It was marked with color codes. It had columns there, and she also read out which speakers were in time and who overshot time and by how much. That was something very helpful, and I'm sure that the speakers got good time to watch that screen and understand how to take it forward from there. At the beginning of the session, when you were presenting your details about your role or what you are going to perform as a timer, there in that part of this segment, I can request that maybe you can share the flags, like green flag, when you're saying that I will show the green flag at say 2 minutes or 5 minutes. You show the green flag and then you show the yellow flag again. So that is just one recommendation I have for you. Overall, otherwise, very wonderful evaluation from the perspective of the timer. Thank you so much for playing the role and being so specific, meticulous, and detailed. Our grammarian today was Toastmaster Shormishta. She had to disconnect, but she also played a wonderful role. And I'm sure that the grammarian report and the word of the day that was shared at the beginning of the session, although it was missed at the starting, but she did come back and share that with the audience. I'm sure that will help all of us take it forward. Overall, the session was amazing. It was full of energy. It was full of stories. It was full of speeches that helped us connect. Our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ojashvita, ensured that things run smoothly. She ensured that the strings, she becomes the string which connects all the pearls of evaluations and speakers that followed in the session one after the other. Toastmaster Mrinal at the beginning of the session as the presiding officer and the president of the club ensured that we start off with a bang, we start off with a connect, and we start off with energy, setting the context and taking things forward. A couple of feedbacks in general for the session would be although it is up to the club and the club can choose the way they want to design their sessions. However, it is probably a best practice that the Toastmaster of the day introduces the speaker and not the speech evaluators. So maybe that is something, if the EC feels or the club feels that can be incorporated, that would probably add more value. The reasoning behind this is that, if the Toastmaster of the day is introducing every person and the Toastmaster of the day anyway has to say the name of the speaker and the speech title, that suspense remains with the audience, and also the context can be set. If it's in a regular meeting, the Toastmaster of the day can add a little bit of variety or set it according to the context of the session that he or she is designing. So maybe that can add a little bit of value. So if the club feels that we can incorporate that, it would be great, and the EC can pass it on to the role players subsequently. We had an agenda today, and I was a little confused because with the sequence of the speakers and the evaluators at the bottom, because like it was like this. I was not sure if I should lead from left, right, or top down, because the sequence from the initial WhatsApp message and the one in the agenda was a little different. So maybe that can be little specifically called out that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, just numbers at the side of the name can help. People like me understand better in a way who tend to overthink things and get confused in the process with the sequence. Overall, a wonderful session. We began on time. I would like to congratulate the club members and the executive committee for coming up with a speech marathon. It's difficult to have one speeches. We had 6 today. That shows without a doubt how much effort went into this session. We had flyers and we all saw those flyers. They were very lovely, well designed. I would again like to congratulate the public relations team, the Vice President Public Relations, and of course the President of the club for leading from the front to ensure that such wonderful artifacts come up and is shared across. We had a wonderful session today. I'm sure that we had a lot to learn. I had a lot of takeaways from the different speeches that had a lot of variety on Sunday morning. I look forward to be back again sometime in person if we meet, or even online, and we can take our learning journey forward. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Adarsh.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Kaushik.
So I urge you, everyone, please, voting link already shared in the chat box. Please vote for the best speaker and the best evaluator. Back to you, Modi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mrinal. So with all these lovely speeches and the day coming to an end, it's now time to call upon the presiding officer for the day. Can I now request Toastmaster Mrinal, the presiding officer, to please take over the stage?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajay, for your role today, and full of energy and a lot of new things we learned from you, and also from all the speakers. We learned a lot of stories, their personal, and also from the evaluator. So with that, I think voting is done, everyone. Come on, if everyone is voting is done, please share the result with me so I can announce accordingly. So with that, I think we definitely take care of that, because we have privilege today that our program quality director of the district, DTM Kaushik Bhattacharya, is already there, and definitely we follow. You suggest 2 recommendations for our club that TUMOD should take care of the entire process flow rather than evaluator. And second parameter is that is happened because of last moment changes in the sequence. Otherwise, it will always, we are try to follow accordingly sequence only. And apart from that, actually, we just want to know, because we want to be one of the advanced club in the district. So for that reason, actually, we just need your support. What are the things we should practice for our club? Just 2 to 3 sentences enough for us. Which are the part we should take care to becoming an advanced club?
I would say any club, any district, any division or area progresses with the members and how they are learning and growing together. And this club today, our club today, and is not going to be an exception, right? So we can probably discuss with the members what is the reason why they joined. We all joined Toastmasters for different reasons. We had different reasons. We all participate in speech contests for different reasons. In fact, I have participated in many speech contests in the past. I have won at the district level, but years where I have participated, the reason behind my participation has been different. Sometimes I have participated because I was feeling a little down and I felt that, okay, I'm going to go this year and speak my heart out. Sometimes I've participated and I've thought that I'm going to win it, and then I lost at the divisions. And sometimes I've participated maybe just for fun. And sometimes I've participated to win and then have gone on to win at the district. There is a form that is present in the Toastmasters International website, which helps us run this surveys within our members. We can probably circulate that. I can point you to the link as well. I'll try to get the link from the website. If you cannot, just drop me a message. I can find it from the website for you. I'll find it from the website for you. And we can then put it to the members and understand the reason why they are looking forward to a session, why they want to join, and what they want to take out. We can also have, I'm sure that the club does this, but if not, and if we are doing it, we can strengthen to have mentors assigned to speakers and not restrict them to just discuss within themselves. Like say Toastmaster Mrinal is the mentor for Toastmaster Kaushik. I can only talk to Toastmaster Mrinal. That maybe is something that is being restrictive. So we can have an open bonding situation where we can talk to each other and have initiatives where we can discuss among ourselves and learn from all of us in a, of course, a supportive, collaborative environment. Clubs grow through personal connects as well, and most of the clubs that are successful over the years bond at a personal level. So maybe before, after the sessions which we are online, we can have some informal segments wherein we are having a team building activity or a couple of initiatives where we discuss ourselves, and that can take us forward. Toastmasters International also recommends clubs to add variety to their sessions. Like we always do speeches, we have table topics, we have evaluations. That is there. But in some advanced clubs, or any club for that matter, can practice having variety to their sessions. And it is up to the club what they want to do. Now, Toastmasters has a recommendation for or guidelines, like they have pathways for speeches. We have pathways for speeches. We have some best practices shared. There is a document which talks about different things that can add variety. For example, one day we can have debate. Now, we know what debate is, but TI has a document listing out best practices on how maybe we can conduct the debate. We have, we can one day have maybe a group discussion. Again, in that document, there is a section which says, like pathways objectives, there are group discussion objectives. Likewise, there are 3-4 more things that are present in the document. I have been mailing this to all the members in the district. I have not mailed it to the clubs in Kolkata as of yet, HIJK. I will be doing that very shortly. But if you need the document before the mail reaches your mailbox, again, just drop me a message on WhatsApp. I have the document handy. I can share it to you on WhatsApp as well, those PDFs, and maybe you can have a look at it. Some clubs in the past, and I have been part of those clubs where we used to practice just a minute or half a minute as well as a fun team building activity, plus which relates to public speaking as well. So it goes both with the mission and the vision of the Toastmasters and the clubs, but at the same time, a little fun in the nature, adding variety to the clubs. Apart from educational sessions, speeches, workshops, contests that we're doing, these are the things maybe which can add a little bit of variety and also help us grow and connect more at a personal level. I think these can always help. And at any point of time, if you need any support from me or any other officer from the district, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm sure that at least I am just a messenger.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your valuable suggestion. Yes, we already, some of the part already have practiced in our club for best practice. I think some of the things we need to implement that, becoming better version of ourselves as a club, as an individual member, then only you can grow as a club. So with that, actually our area director is also there in the meeting. So I just urge you, our area director, Toastmaster Shruti, few words from you, just 1 or 2 sentences about the meeting. Any specific observation? Shruti, are you there? So I think, so our results is already there right now with me right now. So any guesses for the best speaker? Any guesses?
Toastmaster Shushmita.
Anyone else? Pooja, Kamal, no. Ajasvita. So yeah, so absolutely right, Movani. Best speaker for today is Toastmaster Susmita Samanta. So congratulations, Toastmaster Susmita Samanta, for the best speaker for the day. Now coming to the next role players. Best evaluator of the day. Any guesses?
Toastmaster Shruti.
Yes, I think Kamal actually shared the link with me. So you are
From my side, actually from my side, I don't know. It's more from my side. I guesses only because I don't have anything.
Yes, so absolutely right. So great prediction. I think if I purchase any lottery ticket, then I personally should connect with you for the result.
Don't do this.
So well done, Toastmaster Shruti Srivastava, to becoming the best evaluator. So with that, I think you can stop recording. We can hear for the chit chat. Anything, anyone, share with us. And thank you everyone for giving us your valuable time on Sunday morning. Anything? I think we can stop recording now.